Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
We've got so much to talk about today with this guy who helps people through energy healing, energy reading. He's also a life coach, Reiki practitioner, so much more. Reiki, I want to center on that for a moment as we talk to Lucas today. Welcome back. How's it going?
It's going so great, Steve. How are you?
I'm good. And I wanted to share. Now, I know we're going to talk about a program you have coming up if somebody wants to really master Reiki. And it's something that you practice, have been for a while. I had Reiki on Monday. And whoa, like it was virtual. I've had it before, but all I can say is, and I just, for anybody that doesn't know or believe in it, the stuff the practitioner told me afterwards, mind blowing, like spot on. It was almost like she's a psychic, but she also cleared out a lot. And even the chakras that she referenced, like I'm thinking like, yeah, you're right. You're right. I don't want to say you're right just to say you're right, but she was right. Crazy. Do you find that after you do a session with somebody that you pull things from them, you learn things, you have intuition about them with the exchange of energy?
Absolutely. You know, when I first got mastered as a Reiki master over 10 years ago, it was just for self-healing and energy management, like just for myself. I wanted to be able to calm my energy system. And then it was about 5-6 years ago, I started doing psychic readings because of Reiki. Because after I would do sessions, I would always have, sometimes it really depends on the day, but my most powerful gifts in the psychic healing world are clairvoyance. I see pictures and images and videos, and clairaudience, so when you hear things. And what would happen is my sessions started getting shorter and shorter and shorter because I wanted to talk afterwards. And so I'd just be talking back and forth to them, and they'd be like, yes, this information resonates so strongly with me. And as we talk, more intuition comes in. And so that's actually how I got into doing psychic work, through Reiki. So yes.
Yeah. And the one thing she said, I don't want to just validate it to say it, but she said, I'm intuitive, and I believe I am. People have told me that before, but she said, your third eye it's clogged up, but you use intuition through, I think she said the fifth chakra, where you can spot things in people. You can tell whether they're telling the truth. You get a real good read on them, but it's almost as if your third eye is handicapped, so you make up for it in another way. And I was like, that makes sense, because I wish I could tell the future or feel the future, but I can't, because I believe I can't connect to my third eye. I don't know. Does that make sense?
It absolutely does make sense. First of all, each and every chakra, and there's 7 primary chakras that are connected to the body. There's other ones and outside you, but the 7 primary chakras, they're like 7 individual assistants. And each one of those assistants has its speciality, and it handles certain and governs certain things inside of your life. And what happened to me, I mentioned this in our last call, is I check in with myself first. And where are my chakras right now? Because they're always moving. And the moment a person walks in, the effect starts happening, either an expansion or a deconstruction. And I just read into what I'm feeling based on their energy. And as for the intuitive thing and seeing the future, this is how I feel. I feel like we live in a reality where there are infinite numbers of futures, and there are infinite numbers of dimensions. And every choice we make, it leads us down X, Y, and Z path. And so as a psychic reader, what would happen is when people are telling me their stories, I would see all of a sudden 3 options. I see the breakup, I see the resolution, I see the on and off, I see all 3 of them. And just on my logic, my brain, I go, I'm seeing this path. And if you do this and this and this will take you this way. This is where you want to go, right? Yes. Okay, well, I can feel you would probably do this behavior. That behavior makes that path happen. So stop doing that. And so it's a guiding process. I think your chakras, they activate at different times, and there's some days that they're just off. They're just off. They're not working, and that's okay. Like that's a vacation day for that chakra, but it's trainable. It's very
okay. So that being said, when you try to access your third eye,
yes,
what do you see? What do you feel? How do you do it?
Oh my God. Okay. So the best exercise for activating and processing images inside the mind is when you close your eyes, you can see color. And usually, if you look around the room or move your eyeballs around inside the lid, the colors will change. And depending on how tight the lid is or how loose it starts getting, the images, the colors start shifting into patterns. And what you're looking for is you're looking for, like, oh, that looks like a circle. Oh, that looks like a square. Was that a bunny rabbit? Like, that's how you train to make your mind receive intuitive information. And the more you do it, because again, it's a skill set, it's a
Okay.
gift, but any talented person cannot be good at what they do eventually. It's a skill set. You train it. And so it's,
Okay. I feel better now. I
you
really do.
should. That's
Yeah.
one thing my Reiki practice is, I think they should teach this in high school. I really think that Reiki should be taught like in high school as an elective, not required, but an elective,
Agreed.
because it really changes everything, because everyone can do it. No one is not gifted psychically. It's just finding which psychic gift is best for you, using that gift to tune into the other ones, and then training them along the way. And
And
so,
everybody does things differently. Like it, I write different than you write. We have different handwriting. So we all have our own personal play on things. So I may do something, energetically different than you. Maybe the end result is the same, because maybe I'm more in tune with my fifth chakra and, not my third eye.
yep.
That could be possible. But just what you said in colors, I get that with the third eye. But a lot of times it looks like just a bunch of color. It's like just static color. It's just static all over and color there. And I don't make out shapes. I don't see shapes. I try, I don't get it.
Another exercise that could be put together with that one is a depth exercise. It's where you put like 6 or 7 objects in front of you, like a foot, 2 feet, 3 feet, 4 feet, and you look at one, you look at the next one, you look at that one, and you're moving your depth of field. And when you can also move your depth of field when your eyes are closed, it's a feeling. And so,
Okay.
yeah, it's definitely, you
I
can do it.
gotcha. It's almost as if nighttime you get up or you lose power, lights go out, but you're still walking around the room knowing where things are. You kind of got
Mhm.
to feel, and it's kind of amazing if you see the vision of your room now that you can't see anymore for that moment. You can just kind of make your way around. I bump into a little something, but you kind of got it. You kind of have it.
Do you, when it's dark like that, do you see like shadows and different lights in areas of the room that, like some people will say that they see things passing in their peripheral vision sometimes, like just, it's a very common phenomenon. But like even when the lights are off, because your eyes are trying to process the dark and the light, you'll process layers again in the room. Because even like right now, I can just stare like off like 2 feet right here, and the light will be different than if I adjust my focus a foot further, and I'm actually looking at empty space. Does that
Mm,
make, you're doing it right now?
I
And so
am.
it takes, yeah, it's a really cool gift that I didn't ever try to train. It was actually one that just started happening. I'm a feeler. I feel my clair gift, my psychic gift that's strongest is clairsentience, my ability to feel things. And so when people, I can walk into a room or a space, or like even at like old junk stores and stuff, I can pick things up and I can feel the difference in the energy someone put into the object.
Wow.
And so,
Wow.
yeah.
Everything has energy. If anybody, is listening, watching, and as I've learned even recently, a
Hmm.
picture is energy, even if it was taken 10 years ago, whatever it is, that photo has energy that was imprinted in it.
Yeah.
And maybe you can read it, maybe you can't, depends on who you are. Let's talk about the program that you're about to roll out, the Reiki Master Program.
Yes, so it's called the Walk of the Master. I'm actually running it right now. We're going into week 6 with this current group. And what the program does is Reiki has, depending on who you ask, there's 3 or 4 levels. Traditionally, there's just 3 levels, but I'll keep going. In the first level, you learn about how to read your own energy, how to tap into it and balance your own energy through breath work, visualization. And you're certified as a self-healer, which is a completely useless certificate, really. What are you going to do? Show it like, look what I did. But the level 2 certificate, you're now certified to go and do the same energy work on yourself with others. There's also like a deepening with the understanding of the symbols and how energy can travel throughout the body. I have a lot of visualizations for how energy moves. And then the level 3 program is the Reiki Mastership Practitioner. And it's really just a deeper dive through the level 2 program. There's some stuff that I don't talk about certain levels of energy work with people until they've been warmed up to everything else first. It can get a little hooey in the last 3 weeks. But I also teach on things that might not even be something I'm a specialized person in, like spirit guides. I'm not specialized in that, but I know how to connect to mine. So I teach my students that same thing. So they do level 1, level 2, level 3 in 9 weeks. And then on the level 10 day, it's just a celebration. We have like a ceremony. And so it's a really great program. So we have we have the 10 group sessions per week, 1 per week, 10 times. And then each of the people has 6 private sessions with me. 3 of those are for the Reiki attunements, which could be a whole topic in itself. And then the other 3 happen after the program ends so that they can check in with me, any questions they have. And it's gone. Honestly, I've never done it digitally before. It's my first time. I always taught it in person, and it's going really well. There's just huge transformations happening. People in the program, their family is noticing it. Like this one woman was sitting at dinner one night with her family. I guess things were getting heated, and she wasn't getting heated. And her youngest daughter looks and goes, "What happened to mom? She's all zen. I can't." And starts freaking out more. And I was like, Reiki.
Yeah,
So
I get it. It is a life changer for anybody that doesn't realize it. Tell me about your spirit guides.
My spirit guides.
When you connect with them,
Mm-hmm.
why you connect? How do you choose to connect? What do you get?
I believe that each one of us has a personalized angel that's assigned to you. It's commonly known in the common tongue as a guardian angel. That guardian angel's job is, I'm getting chills because so I talked about him, he literally like came right to me. That guardian angel's job is to give you intuitive downloads and messages in the moment. Like when you're driving and all of a sudden you want to go left, you check, you don't see anyone. I should check again. That's your guardian angel whispering in your ear, telling you it's to follow your gut. To follow. Wow, it's like powerful. Mine, his name is Shamafeld. I don't even know how that happened. I one day was staring at a blank wall and I was like, I'm going to draw my guardian angel. So I drew him on the wall and I was like, what's your name? And I immediately heard Shamafeld. And I was like, what a weird name. Like Shamafeld. How do you spell that? He's my primary. Then I work a lot with the archangels, which is something that's in Catholicism too, like Archangel Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, Uriel, the 4 guardian angels of the 4 quadrants, north, south, east, and west. Wow, I don't tell people this on random. This is fun. I'm open to the public. I'm like a portal so the reason I birth kittens is because I love bringing in new life, but I'm a portal, I feel like, for both life coming in and life coming out. And so I have a lot of visitations. When I go out in public, other people's ancestors will come to me and be like, she's not listening to a word I say. I'm tired of following her around. What do? I can't do this anymore. I used to, like, in college, I would literally wander through places and just collect them like Pokemon Go. And I would say, it's all right. You're no longer needed. You can either go back down to the earth, reincarnation, or up to heaven for your next upgrade, whatever it was. That was a very weird period in my life.
Wow.
But you can call, if you want to know your guardian angel, go outside, find a tree. Trees are great. Sit down, get to a meditative place, check in with your body and breathe and just say, I invite my guardian angel to come to me. They're already around, but when you call it like that, they will come closer. And sit there and just meditate and feel the changes in your body. And then whatever you need, guardian angel, I need advice for my relationship right now, for my job right now. How can you help me? And usually for me, I start getting a feeling of relief that comes in, like the solution's been found. I don't know what it is yet. The relief comes in. And as that relief creates space in my energy field, ideas start popping up. Because a lot of times our anxiety is what's keeping the creative process from happening. So when you get down into the it's already solved energy. Solution.
Hmm. And I've often heard, even when it comes to energy, you got to get the garbage out before you can get the good stuff in.
Yes.
Not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And I believe too, you ask for signs, you'll get signs. If you're open to seeing them. That's
if you're probably open, so that's good.
Oh my gosh. I even had my mom passed 4 years ago. When I vibe her and ask for a sign, and I don't do it often, I only do it when I really need it, she'll give me a sign, and it is uber specific. It's like, oh yeah, it's definitely her. There's not even a doubt in my mind. And I'm not talking about a butterfly. I'm talking about really specific stuff. Even recently I vibed her, and I don't know if I shared this, but it still blows me away. I changed my internet setup, and I got a different router. They delivered the router from the cable company, and they just, sign a password. It's computer generated. Again, I was vibing her. I say, Mom, ask for a sign that you're around. Things are going to go good with whatever's going on. Flip the modem upside down, the router. And the password is her name. So you can't make that up. I mean, it was 4 numbers before, dash her name, dash 2 numbers. And of course, I'm trying to figure out what the numbers mean.
I was like, do you still have the numbers? Because I can tell you what the numbers mean, bro.
I'll give you the numbers.
I might know your answer, but I know where you live, so it's okay.
I'll give you the numbers. You figure it out. Any way I look at these numbers, it keeps coming back to 7. And I don't know what she's trying to tell me with 7, but it's 5382. Anybody can hijack my Wi-Fi now. 5382 dash Rose, my mom's name, dash 52. And even personal stuff, as I try to add the numbers, and it keeps coming out to 7, and I don't know why.
Usually when you see numbers, you want to look at them in their own individual sequence. So like the 5382, you Kabbalistically, you add the numbers together, which is 18. And then that number becomes a 9. Because you 8 together, and you have 5 and 2 and 7. And so there's almost like a sense of release happening right now too, like in the sense of like you've invested so much emotional energy, and like there's almost like some pent up feelings a little bit. And she's saying like, take a new stand, open your own purpose, trust that you have your way. And then 7 is 16, which also, like you said, goes back to 7. Yeah, 7s are all about, it's right before everything explodes. So it's like in 1 through 6, you're planning and preparing and getting everything together. And in 7, it's like all the crop has been put down, everything's watered. Now you're just waiting for everything to rise. And so it's also like a sign saying that, right now in your life, take it slow, take it easy, have some patience. Don't stand there and scream, bloom, 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 bloom. It's gonna bloom. You did the work. Trust yourself.
So can I share one other thing?
Yeah.
7 and 11 come up when I play with the numbers, personal stuff. But it just comes up that way. And then I realized, and my parents got divorced when I was very young. My father passed away 7/11/83.
Oh, interesting.
And if you take the 8/3, that's another 11. So the 7 and 11 keep resonating. I don't know what she's trying to say. But
so 11s. So we talked about the 7.
It's a master number, right?
It's a master number, correct? Because it's saying you've already mastered all 10 steps. And now that you have this mastered the program, you're restarting the whole thing again. And so it's a new cycle, but it's a better cycle because you have all the wisdom of the numbers behind you. I don't go much past 11. Some people say that 22 and 33 and 44 are all mastered. I'm like, that's too much. Because then 99, 99, 669 is almost a master number. No.
I totally agree with you. It gets too deep. And I've heard, the 3-3, the 2-2, 2-2 is like an angel number. I heard. Trying to remember what that means. I don't know.
It also varies how many there are in a row, because when there's a repetitive sequence of numbers, it's about the base number first. What does 2 mean? Which is about balance and starting things up and putting things to close so you can move forward. But when they start doubling, it's amplifying the energy. But then you also add how many it is together. So if you had 2 2s, it's a 4, which is about you're amplifying energy to create balance. If it was 3 2s, it'd be a 6. So you're amplifying energy to create, oh, sorry, I said it wrong. I was ahead of myself. 4 is for structure, 6 is for balance, 8 is about initiation. Like they all, and it's really interesting, you know, because people go into like the whole, it's a pseudoscience, like Reiki is a pseudoscience, and we're all like, you have to believe it to make it real. And my response to that is always, isn't that true with anything in faith? You have to believe it to make it real. You have to believe in Christ's love to receive forgiveness. You have to believe in the Buddhist monks' enlightenment to receive your enlightenment. You have to believe first. And
Even
so,
manifestation. It's the same thing. You have to believe what you're looking for is already here. And that if it's not, it's coming. And there's no doubt about it in your mind.
yes. All of our manifestations are done through Amazon Prime. I get that all the time because people are freaking out. I'm like, it's already ordered. It's coming. But the faster you calm down, the faster it arrives. Because anxiety creates ripples, like a wave. And if it's coming through water, imagine all that storm. Calm down. So we can
great analogy, man. Great. And you know what? it is, we want it here now. And then we put the blocks up. When is it going to show up? Come on. That's the worst thing. Now you turned it into a negative. Now you turned it into a place of lack where you just need to have faith and let it go. It's coming. I'm waiting for it. Can't wait. It'll be here.
And you know, I really do think that really is just the last 100 years. It really is. I think that if it wasn't for our society being so fast for information, for food, for communication, if everything wasn't instant, we wouldn't get as frustrated when we wait longer than 5 seconds, you know? And so it's a new thing, this rush, so new.
Totally. I don't know if you do this, and maybe it was because of past life I was there, but I have a affinity for the 1800s. I look at that time, like the 1870s, you know, around there, technology was just changing. There was getting more stuff, but it was a way simpler time. There was photography, so you could see pictures and, you know, outfits. But to me, that resonates with me. And I don't know why, but maybe part of it is just what you said, simpler life. And none of that rush, you know, none of that craziness where people could just be in their mind and reflect without all the stuff around them that is gets in the way, and the anxiety. Look at our anxiety now compared to back then. Probably nothing.
Right. And they were chasing animals and hunting their own food, and they were fine. I have something to say about past lives. I believe that our physical genetic structure, the DNA helix that belongs to us, I think that that is a timeline for our entire family, our entire lineage. There's things, and then it's being mixed in, right? So say you have some things over here with this parent, they mix in, but it creates a connection to all your ancestors. So I think that's one way. And I think that the last ancestor that was probably not freaking the F out was probably in the 1800s. And so there's a lot of us now who are ready to step back into that feeling of calmness that are resonating in that time period. And the other one is sometimes it relates to what I just said about maybe an ancestor went through something and you know nothing about it, so it's 10 generations back, but you see a movie or you read a story about somebody else and all of a sudden that feels like a past life. It's because it connects to one of your genetic lines.
That's what I'm saying.
Because people are, I was Queen Elizabeth, I was, you know, the Pharaoh of Egypt. Like, there was a lot of pharaohs of Egypt then. You know, I think it's a resemblance of something that you were back here.
Because it resonates with you. And why? There's got to be a reason. There's got to be some connection with it. You know, nobody's going to say, hey, you know, I love medieval times. That's fantastic. All right, it's cool. But when you feel it inside, you feel like you're so connected to it. There's got to be a connection somehow. There's something.
And I think that's the greatest part about really epic movies and epic books is that the characters, the archetypes are so connectable that we connect them through our own journey. Like, you know, and I love watching movies again and again and again and again. I've seen Lord of the Rings, the whole thing, at least 100 times. And it's funny how my connection shifts. It was always Frodo, and then it became Gollum, and then it went into the Aragorn King. Like, it switches around, you know, because it's where you are.
You're in a different place.
Mm-hmm. Well, you understand.
We're out of time.
That's okay.
We're going to do a card reading and a lot more, but let's get right to what you do. You are available, of course, with the Reiki Master course,
Yeah.
and you're here offering insight, guidance, life coaching. How do we find you, Lucas?
Remastering Your Life is my handle on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube. Remasteringyourlife.com is my website. And on my website, on like my, just anywhere, you'll find contact forms to fill out. You can DM me. And that program starts October 10th. So there's only 12 spots and some are already taken. So it's a great program.
Yeah, well, you know what? We're just talking about the benefits of Reiki. If you want to learn how to do it or master it or improve your life with it, go to the website.
And on TikTok is where I do the live energy healings and the live readings, both free and paid. So TikTok is really the best place to get the most of my content.
You know what? I got to check that out. You mentioned that last time and I didn't get there yet, but definitely got to check that out. Lucas, thanks for being here today, man. You're the best.
You're awesome. I love talking to you. So
same. And I learn a lot. Like your insight is, and we didn't even get to like half of what we want to talk about today. So hopefully next time.
That's right. Next time. I think it's so I'll see you later for sure.
Gotcha.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.